What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the light blue color, sky blue. I like to call this as teal. His name is the Only One, and he is playing as Odin. This is the clan tournament, and this clan, while they aren't using their clan tag, which makes me very upset, I want to make that known that I'm very upset, is the Fury clan. The partners today in the red color playing as Poseidon is Pelososo. Let's go with Pelososo. That sounds like good. Maybe? I don't know. And finally, well, he's playing Poseidon. Finally, rounding out this team in the purple color, pink color, Magenta color, playing as Zeus. His name is Mike Torres. Their opponents today in the blue color playing as Loki. His name is Hero OP. And he's from the UCA clan, but the UCA clan is about this big, right? And that means they get two teams. That's completely fine. We have the UCA Lizards and the UCA Owls. And this is the UCA Owls here. Both of these UCA teams are stacked. It's hard to pick which one is actually better than the other one. Absolutely stacked. Rounding out this team in the yellow color playing as Poseidon, we do have Shadowfax, one of the strongest 1v1 players around these days. And finally, in the green color, playing as Uranus, we have Swiss Boy. The map is Tundra. And this is still week one. Week one goes for a while, right? There were 16 teams that signed up, which means there's 8 games, which does mean that there are 16 games to go through in total because it's a best of 2. Well, I guess it's not best of 2. It's just a 2-game group stage format, which does mean that there are chances for tiebreakers at the end of the tournament round. And due to this, and due to the distinct lack of creativity we've seen thus far in this tournament, we have added in another rule. This rule is if there is a tiebreaker and you have picked the same map more than once, you will go down and the other team will go up. So don't pick the same map more than once in this group stage. Is the general message here. That's the message. So we'll see if we could avoid some Mediterranean games and maybe some marsh games, but who knows. So let's take a look at this team composition, which UCA have managed to construct. We do have Poseidon, we got Loki, and we got Uranus. So a very, very diverse civilization choice here. The reason for the Poseidon is a bit of a head scratcher, so we'll have to go into some detail about this one. But effectively, UCA have got a very, very mobile team now in this game with Poseidon, with Uranus, with Loki. They're all going to have units that got a speed at least 5.5 in the Loki Herser with the Hall of Fanes, in the Hippocon, and in the Terma. Obviously, you're going to have to move around with those 4.95 Murmillo as well, but that's still pretty fast compared to what some other civilizations are going to do. Beyond all of this, there is a very, very nice, heroic age timing that Poseidon and Loki can do, as well as Uranus, if they're all hitting the heroic age around about the same time with, Aphrodite, flaming weapons, and chaos. So we'll see if that's going to be something that they're going to play towards in this game. On the other side of the match, on the field, on the map, whatever you want to call it, we do have ourselves Odin, we've got ourselves Poseidon as well, and we've got ourselves Zeus. So 3 different gods here. The Zeus going through Athena is a bit spicy, so we'll see if what that's gonna do here. As Mike Torres is coming forward with his Jason very, very early, putting some very, very nice pressure over here onto Hero OP as the Katoskopos going hard on this one. We do see the Gatherer starting to shank away. You got to be a little bit careful with this one. You don't really want to be attacking the Herser because the Herser can just retreat back home and heal back up on the healing spring, whereas the Jason cannot. So that's a really, really big win for Hero in the early stages of the game there. The Katoskopos going to give a little bit of favor over to Hero OP as well, as he is starting this game off very, very strong as we're starting to see the only one moving in with his Olsak nice and early to put pressure onto this Uranos. As Swiss Boy right now, he is getting out his Murmillo and his Terma. A little bit behind the 8-ball right now. He's just going to be retreating his villagers back home as his units, he does not quite have the units he needs to deal with these Olsarks this early. So the only one going to have to be a little bit careful here. And then finally, checking out what Pelosa is doing. Pelososo. I don't even know. Poseidon player here. He's making some Hippocon. And he's going to start getting involved in this game. So too is Shadowfax getting involved, pushing the Mike Torres units back home. If we take a look at what Mike's actually doing, he's got himself a military academy. He's got himself an archery range. He's going to be super immobile. However, he is going to have the hoplite. And that means he can push through buildings very, very nicely. So if Pelososo can come in and help him out on the defensive side of things, while also being able to track where the Loki is to make sure, and the Poseidon is, to make sure he can come in and double, he's going to be in a really, really good position. As we're still seeing these Olsak running around for the only one, looking for something to take out. Swiss Boys all over the map at this point, just still managing to hunt, still in a very, very good position right now. We see Lone Wanderer coming through as everything is moving ahead right now for the only one. He's doing everything that he needs to do in this early stage. So it's all going to come down to Swiss Boy reacting nicely here to see how that's all going to happen. As we do see Pelososo coming in right now onto these Herso. He's going to be able to snipe one Herso over here as Hero OP not paying attention. He's currently looking for the raids over here, as we do see Mike Torres with some nice defense over on this position. I don't think he lost a villager, as a couple of Herso or a Herso falling. And now Pelososo, he needs to find where this hunt is right now. If we take a quick look to his perspective, they actually have no idea that there's hunt potentially up here. And that's going to be really, really bad. One way to get around this type of thing, if you've got a civilization like Zeus or like Poseidon, getting yourself out an early Pegasus in these team games is really, really helpful, because it's going to mean that not only you as the Zeus player can get those raids down, but also your teammates can get the raids down a little bit easier. Just like the Odin uses the Ravens and all that other good stuff to make sure their opponents get seen and all that other good stuff. As we do see a cheeky little forest fire getting dropped down here to open this location up just a little bit. Might actually take that mana down. I'm not 100% sure, but the Olfsuck's getting through, not losing too much HP there. Still looking for some kills as the Hippocon retreating back over here. And now we see Hero OP. He's under pressure right now. Thank you for the tier 1, Nick TP. Appreciate you so much here. As the Hersa from Hero, he's trying to snipe units on the back foot, and Shadowfax coming in. This is going to be huge. The Pelososo Hippocon coming in a little bit late here. We'll be seeing a restoration getting dropped down by Mike Torres, and Pelososo coming in with his Hippocon. Nice micro there from Shadowfax, not attacking too much during that restoration, but it looks like the population advantage might just be too big here for the Loki, for UCA, as they come in and they're going to clean up these units. Mike Torres retreating back. That's absolutely huge. Restoration down. Shadowfax and Hero doing an incredible job there in the early stages of the game to deal with that early pressure. Mostly just hoplites here for Mike Torres, as Pelososo gets completely caught out, losing all his heroes, losing all of his Hippocon, barely doing any damage there. That's absolutely huge. We'll see if Swiss Boy and Hero OP can now start looking to put some real pressure on, as Mike's decision-making there, not what he needed it to be. Going for that attack there without all of his population and everything else doesn't quite work out for him. And we'll see how it's going to go right now. But Hero's got a ton of Herso out. He's going to be looking for the raids. There's villagers over here that are very, very easily susceptible to these raids, and we're going to see Hero searching for those at this point. As the hoplites over here, you're going to be chasing the Hippocon around. Hero's just going to come in and get a huge surround onto this. He does not mind this one in the slightest. Shadowfax needs to kind of bait just a little bit more, as the Herso are going to be coming in. We do see Mike Torres pulling back. He wants to be targeting down those Herso as best as he can. The Hippocon able to take down Pelososo's Hippocon easily over here, but the hoplites, they do beat up on those Hippocon there, as we are seeing a town center coming down for Shadowfax. Is the Olsak for the only one, looking for something to take out here. here. Meanwhile, we're seeing an armory coming up as the only one getting a little bit caught out here. His unit's not quite strong enough to deal with the Murmillo that Swiss Boy is currently throwing in onto this position over here. Meanwhile, over here we see the villagers retreating back and archery range attempting to come up onto this position. Unfortunately, Hero doesn't look like he's able to get too many villager kills here. He gets 2. As the rest do manage to get into the town center over here, as the hoplites coming back. And now you're Athena, your hoplites, you're in a bad position here. Farms have to come down. This is going to be very, very tough for Mike Therese here, as the town center is attempting to come up, does manage to get this one up, but I imagine that Hero OP and Swiss Boy can just destroy this town center. There's no real problems here, but they're going to decide to not do that in favor of maybe trying to hit Pulasoso's villages over on that position over here. Is now he's currently idle with his Hippocon on this position. Plenty of weaknesses here in Pulasoso's base. He's got his gold mine over here. He's got his wood line potentially open up there as well. So we see the Herso coming in. They will spot these villagers. This is a double raid onto these villagers. They should all be getting picked off here. No way does Hero OP allow those out of here, and Pulasoso uses the ceasefire there, says, nah, I don't want to lose villagers just yet, but guess what? This means that you've allowed an early flaming weapons to be clicked here. Normally there's a ceasefire to have to worry about when you've got a Greek on the enemy team, but in this situation, that ceasefire is gone. That ceasefire is gone, so flaming weapons can be clicked in 30 seconds-ish, and effectively, whatever fight Hero OP wants to take, he will be winning here. Unless there's some sort of bronze situation that can come through in the meantime for Palasoso. As now we see Shadowfax moving around this base as best as he can. If we take a good look at the minimap, there's no movement here from Team Fury to put any pressure now. It's all try and defend as best as he can. Maybe a Frost could come in and defend that flaming weapons, but it doesn't look like the only one is close enough to the heroic age to make that happen here, as surely Hero OP is going to be looking for some sort of flaming weapons, potentially going straight after the only one here. Taking out that town center would be absolutely huge, as the Murmillo coming in over here going to try and take out the armory. Let's check out the armory upgrades. We don't see any for either player here, as the only one coming back over here to defend. He's got so many Ulfsark here, but flaming weapons getting cast. Huge shockwave hitting literally every single one of those Odin units there, as the Hippocon coming in onto this position. We've got a triple coming in from UCA onto the only one's base over here. The Hippocon getting taken out. Mike Torres is nowhere to be seen. Maybe he could go straight after the Hero OP base. There he is. He's coming in with his hoplites on the backside. We see the Einhjar spawn. They're going to help out even more for Hero OP. He's bringing in his battle ball in onto this position. That town center looks very, very unhelpful right now, as we also see a Frost Giant coming through for Hero OP. Dionysus now coming in for Palasoso. That would be so huge if it was 1 minute earlier, but it's just too late here. All the units have been picked off, and this is just too big of an advantage for Team UCA Owls to have at this point. Not only that, we see Aphrodite Tier coming in as Mike Therese decides it's game over, as they're all going to tap out, and UCA Owls gets the dub here with an incredibly brutal timing here, going completely nuts onto the only one's base there. Just sandwiches them in a beautifully timed shockwave, beautifully timed flaming weapons, and it's just lights out there. Had the only one been in the heroic age, had Palasoso been in the heroic age here, a huge bronze, a huge frost could have been a completely different story. But it just wasn't to be here in this game. A nice try from Fury. UCA Owls is one of the better teams in this tournament. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.